Hi, today we're going to do something a little different. This is Ashok, and we are going to have a mock interview with the co-founders of Hubspot, Brian Halligan and Dhameshshah. And as you can see, I've got my dhameshshah look, the side parting hairstyle, the authentic beard, and the t-shirt inside. So let's begin. Now, Dhamesh and Brian can share with us how large companies like HubSpot are actually tackling the pandemic and what's going on with their thinking and generally not wanting to spend at all. HubSpot, as you know, was developed by Massachusetts Institute of Technology in the USA. It's one of the most sophisticated CRM systems in the world. I personally feel it's a lifesaver to my business because when we started using it a couple of years back, it was so easy to use and it synchronized all the data in one place, and we got so much more profound insights of how people actually found out about our business, in how they could market their own businesses or what they needed to do to improve their own business. So that way the content that you share with them is useful to them, then you become a point of contact or a source that is in need, that is in demand.
What's going on right now is there's three major crises at the same time, and all three crises are impacting businesses in a major way, impacting HubSpot, impacting your business. There's certainly a health crisis going on, there's an economic crisis, and there's a crisis of conscience happening right now. And I went to business school 15 years ago. They didn't have any classes on W-shaped economic recoveries. They didn't have any classes on worldwide pandemics. They didn't have any classes on woke leadership. So I'm trying to figure out as I go along here, and it's been really challenging and in some ways really interesting.
So what advice, guys, would you give companies, SMEs that are actually facing and braving this pandemic now? Should they lay low and spend less? Or is there a different alternative to approach their customers?
Forward-looking companies need to lean into is they need to be able to think about, how do we run our office on Zoom? How do we run our company on Zoom? How do we run it on Slack? I don't think the amount of collaboration that happened over time was going up. It's gone through the roof in the last couple of years. I don't think we're going back to 2019. I think 2022, 2023 looks a lot more like today. And great managers and great leaders figure out how to lead through Zoom and lead through Slack. I wake up every morning and I put a nice shirt on, but I wear my pajama bottoms and I don't wear any shoes. I'm in front of Zoom all day. Big changes.
What was your rationale in developing the software this way?
I kind of fashion myself as like a social anthropologist. I look at the way human behavior is changing and try to think how can companies change the way they work to match that? And it's that odd little hobby that I have that led to the idea of inbound marketing that Dhamesh and I came up with in HubSpot in the first place. That humans were changing the way they shopped and the way they learned and the way they made purchase decisions, and marketers need to change the way they go to market to match it.
Now, Dhamesh, in your mind, why did you actually develop HubSpot to become a software or today a platform that encompasses all these different hubs to make it so customer-centric?
Brian and I have been obsessed with culture at HubSpot since the early days, and we think of culture as a product. We build a product for our customers, and culture is the product that we build for our people, for our team. Now, there are three features that have always been in demand since the early years of HubSpot. Number one is people want an aligned mission. They want a mission that they can kind of get behind. Number two is they want remarkable autonomy. They want the ability to make decisions, even wrong ones sometimes, and that's the best way for them to learn. And three is they want brilliant peers. They want colleagues that they respect, admire, and enjoy. Now, since COVID, we still have all those three features. They're still very much in demand, but there are three new ones that have kind of popped up and have an upward sloping curve. Number one, people are looking for flexibility in terms of where they work from and what hours they work. Number two is they want transparency from the culture. They want to know what's going on inside the companies and inside the leaders' heads. And number three, they want diversity. And the reason they want diversity is the best people want to work on the best teams. And the best teams are diverse teams. So if you want to thrive in the new normal, the way to do it is to build a culture that meets the demands of the best people. You have to put those features in.
Brian, do you have something to add?
Some of the stuff I like that we're doing is we do that monthly staff meeting that's all about the customers. We have the customers come in.
I love that meeting. By the way, it's not just that we get to hear from customers, we get to do it together as a group.
Yes.
So we have this kind of collective experience,
Yes.
hearing customers' pain.
Hearing that pain together is useful.
The trust score for a company is the probability that they're going to do something good, the thing you expect, minus the probability they're going to do something evil, the thing you don't expect, right? So we've been focused on this. It's like, okay, are they going to deliver on the thing that I want? But there's also this side that's shown up a lot more lately in terms of doing the things I didn't want them to do, and it's that kind of interplay that's important. So how does this help companies thrive in the new normal? Realize that your customers are looking at you with much more scrutiny now than they ever have, which is actually good news. You have the ability to stand out, to recognize that trust is going to be important for the long term, and then recognize that every decision you make, every action you take will either improve your trust score or it will decrease it, and act accordingly.
What are the behavioral changes you can see in your customers or the purchase patterns over the last year or so since the pandemic hit?
You know, buyers are human. You're human. I'm mostly human. So the question is, like, if you want to know how buyers change, like, ask yourself, how have I changed? So chances are, Brian, you're not taking a whole lot of in-person meetings. You're not allowing yourself to be wined and dined by some salesperson. Chances are your time is even more scarce than it used to be. And chances are you have like zero patience for someone else's sales process. You're just like, just let me friggin' buy the thing. And so for companies to thrive in the new normal, what they need to do is deliver a purchasing experience that matches the customer's new normal, not their old normal. That's how you thrive. So HubSpot has a product called Marketing Hub, which is priced based on the number of contacts in your database. And that made complete sense back in the day because that's how everybody prices a marketing product. But turns out HubSpot's not just in the marketing business. We have HubSpot CRM now, so we're in the CRM business as well. And the bug that we uncovered is that there were lots of customers that said, you know, I want to keep all my contacts in HubSpot CRM. But I don't necessarily need to market to all of them. And what customers were doing, and gives me nightmares, is they were putting them like in two different, like I'll keep all my contacts over here in CRM, and then I'll keep another set of contacts over in Marketing Hub. That was a major bug. So in October, customers of Marketing Hub can use the CRM and store as many contacts as they want and only pay for the contacts that they want to market to in terms of Marketing Hub. So how can companies apply this idea to thrive and grow better? It's really quite simple. You need to dig into your purchasing experience, find every little bug, especially the bugs that really bite customers in the crisis, and fix those bugs.
Chris O'Donnell, the Chief Product Officer, also has a few points to share about HubSpot and what its features are that are actually very relevant to people today.
Let's begin as we often do, hearing from a customer we truly admire.
SurveyMonkey's mission is to power the curious. We enable organizations to turn feedback into action. We're proud to work with over 335,000 organizations globally in helping them gather customer feedback, gather feedback from their employees, so that they can then take action on it and make the world a better place. 3.5 years ago, the company began selling into the enterprise, and that really led to an acceleration of growth. And so we've been continuing to accelerate growth as we continue that expansion into the enterprise, which means that we need enterprise-grade technology to do exactly that on the marketing side. So when I think about what technology should do for your marketing team on the marketing automation side, it should accelerate you. It shouldn't slow you down. It should help you, not hinder you. And above all, I think we're also spoiled by consumer tech these days. It should be a pleasant experience. It should be easy to use and intuitive for the team. Another aspect of this world, given that we're all working remotely and having to communicate across the miles, is having a single source of truth and being really clear and consistent and aligned on the metrics in the business and what's going on. And we found that with HubSpot's help, we have a much more streamlined, clear, and single source of truth that we can relate to in these times.
Get in touch with me and I'll share with you how we can use HubSpot for your business so that you can get those new leads and get more sales. Thanks for watching.
Light on the set.
Soft sticks.
Okay, let's do it. I would argue that you need to move to a model that's much more virtual, where you're managing by metrics, and I the answer up. I'm not sure you guys noticed, but there's a noise in the background.
Have you noticed?
As you thrive in the new normal and create an entire, nope. Okay.
Let's do it again.
How have buyers changed? You need to start walking. Sorry, one more time. I'm just waiting for it. It's like, okay.
All right, somebody say action.
What is